If America claims a spot on the moon and China lands there to plant their flag, the reaction is likely to be confrontational. This kind of conflict seems inevitable, especially if there's a valuable resource on the moon to mine. I once researched the Clementine mission. It was a top-secret NASA and U.S. military project during its time. It involved a low lunar orbiting satellite sent to the far side of the moon. The name Clementine immediately made me suspicious that the mission might not return. As I dug into declassified documents, it turned out my hunch was right. The satellite didn't come back. The mission encountered something on the far side of the moon, which is actually the lunar backside. Not truly dark, but remote. Before losing contact, it transmitted about 20 gigabytes of data, which have since been declassified and made available to the public. In those images, there are strange anomalies, things that look like broken structures and scattered debris that seem out of place. I believe the mission was reconnaissance to gather intelligence, which could explain China's own recent ventures to the moon's far side. It's likely a competitive race to discover ancient technology to potentially reverse engineer and weaponize. That theory is fascinating. There's also speculation about abandoned alien bases on the moon's far side. Some declassified NASA audio and text, including statements from Neil Armstrong, mention dome-like convex structures. Armstrong once remarked in the black box audio, publicly available, that he saw dome structures on the moon and guessed the people inside never get out. Looking at images, there are dome forms visible. One photo shows a structure near the upper right corner that resembles two pyramids to the left, and beneath them something geometric appears, partially blurred. By adjusting contrast in image editing tools, these structures become more apparent. Just above that, there are shadows resembling pyramids, producing distinct dark lines. In some images, there are shapes that resemble superimposed arrows or pointers, seeming to highlight something or act as a cursor mark. These arrows appear to point directly to a pyramid-like structure in the photo's upper right corner. The pyramid stands out more clearly in a cleaned-up version of the image labeled C. These objects don't seem natural or fitting with the surroundings. While it's uncertain exactly what they are, their appearance is unnatural. The pyramid in particular is famous and has been discussed for years. It's challenging to believe this formation happened purely by natural means. We're not claiming to know exactly what these shapes are, but they definitely appear out of place. I'd like to zoom in on that pyramid again because it's striking. It's definitely one of the strangest images from the moon. That one is definitely odd-looking, especially with its pointed top and flat sides. If it's genuine, it's really intriguing. But do we have any idea how tall it might be? That's a solid question. There's actually a tool for measurements, though we don't have direct access to it right now. But by checking the shadow it casts, you can estimate its height. I'd be interested to see it firsthand. Sometimes these things can be deceptive, but the angle is so unnatural it stands out. It certainly looks artificial. We're mainly trying to document things that seem like anomalies or out of place, which could be almost anything. In the Sumerian texts, there's a story wherein Lil takes his son to the moon and tells him to grab his eagle's mask because the atmosphere will be harsh. That's why the Anunnaki are often depicted with eagle heads. The eagle head is actually a helmet they wore to breathe air. They mention this twice, once for the moon journey and again for a trip to Mars. There are also ancient depictions of gods or people wearing what resemble masks. One of the most fascinating is the bubble space head figures found in caves. It makes you wonder what they saw that caused them to draw that image, especially since they clearly knew how to depict animals like gazelles or cattle and even humans. But the helmeted figure stands out as unique, making you ask why they drew that specifically. It's the only drawing that looks fabricated, almost like a person in a suit with a helmet. Recently, Chinese scientists announced a stunning discovery on the moon that could dramatically change space exploration and our understanding of the universe. This finding has huge implications and could redefine what we know about our closest celestial body. This announcement is part of China's continuing lunar exploration program, which has sparked excitement throughout the scientific community. So, what exactly did China uncover on the moon? And why is it so important? Let's delve into the details to grasp the significance of this discovery. To understand this fully, It's worth acknowledging how far humanity has progressed in lunar exploration. The moon has fascinated astronomers, scientists, and space agencies for centuries. It was where humans first landed off Earth during the Apollo missions. Since then, interest in lunar exploration has remained strong. However, recently we've come to realize the moon holds many more secrets beneath its dusty surface than previously imagined. Over the past several decades, most lunar missions were led by the U.S., Russia, and later, private companies like SpaceX. In recent years, China has rapidly become a key player in space exploration, with lunar missions that have broken new ground. Through its Chong program, China has sent spacecraft to the moon, deployed rovers, and gathered unprecedented data. The 2019 Chong 4 mission was historic for being the first to land on the moon's far side. The more recent Chong 5 mission, which successfully landed in December 2020, aimed to collect lunar samples and bring them back to Earth for detailed study. What they uncovered exceeded all expectations. The results from this mission could fundamentally reshape our insights into the moon's origin and the broader history of the solar system. The discovery centers on a mysterious material found within the lunar samples that Chong 5 returned. Scientists initially considered this substance a type of lunar regolith, the dust and soil covering the moon's surface. However, further examination revealed it contains elements and compounds not commonly present in ordinary lunar soil. Among the most surprising findings was a unique form of water. Though water has been detected on the moon before, it was always in tiny amounts as ice trapped in shadowed craters near the lunar poles. This new discovery points to water existing in a different form, a form that might be extractable and useful for future space missions. For years, scientists have speculated about the moon's water abundance. And now this finding confirms the moon could harbor more resources than we thought. This water could support future lunar bases and could be split into hydrogen and oxygen to fuel rockets. This discovery opens the door to the possibility of establishing a sustainable human presence on the moon, as well as using it as a launching point for missions to Mars and beyond. But the water is not the only fascinating element in this substance. The samples collected by Chong 5 also contain traces of organic compounds, molecules crucial for life as we understand it. These compounds differ from the simpler organic molecules found in meteorites. They are more intricate and hint that the moon may have been a more active environment in the past than previously believed. This raises the question, could the moon have once supported life? Or does it still hold that potential? The implications are vast. If the moon had the capacity to support life, it would dramatically shift our perspective on where life might exist in the cosmos. It would also prompt us to reconsider how we search for life on other planets. So far, Mars has been the primary focus for the hunt for past or present life. But if the moon was once hospitable, life might exist in more locations than previously imagined. This discovery further provokes questions about the moon's history. How did this substance come to be there? Is it a relic from the moon's distant past? Or something more recent? If recent, might there be additional unknown substances and resources beneath the lunar surface? The answers could deeply influence future lunar exploration strategies. China's Chong 5 mission is not the country's first breakthrough in lunar exploration. Over the years, the Chong program has been at the forefront of lunar science. The Chong 3 mission, landing a rover in 2013, delivered some of the earliest close-up lunar surface images and key compositional data. Then, Chong 4 made history in 2019 by becoming the first spacecraft to land on the moon's far side, a feat no other agency had achieved. But Chong 5 elevated their progress further. Beyond successfully returning lunar samples to Earth, it has yielded new insights into the moon's geology, history, and resource potential. Scientists plan to continue examining these samples over many years, already speculating on the possibilities unlocked by this discovery. China's lunar achievements form part of a broad, ambitious space agenda that has attracted global attention. The China National Space Administration, CNSA, has made remarkable advances recently with plans for additional lunar missions, constructing a space station, and exploring Mars. These developments have firmly positioned China as a leading space power, with this latest finding adding momentum to their program. This discovery is also noteworthy because it highlights growing cooperation among global space agencies. Although China historically kept its space projects separate, there is now more willingness to share data and collaborate internationally. The findings from Chang'e 5 could have wide-reaching effects on future missions, encouraging other nations to partner with China for further study. The international community's engagement underscores the necessity of collaboration in space exploration. Moving forward, collective efforts will be essential to uncover the mysteries of the Moon, Mars, and beyond. Discovering resources like water and organic compounds on the Moon is vital for supporting sustained human space exploration. The endeavor is not only about discovering new frontiers, but also securing resources necessary for survival and advancement in space. So, what lies ahead for China's lunar exploration? Chang'e 5 was just the start. China has announced plans for more missions in upcoming years. The Chang'e 6 mission, scheduled soon, will aim to collect more lunar samples, specifically targeting the Moon's south pole, believed to contain substantial water ice deposits, an invaluable resource for future exploration. Besides the Chang'e program, China is developing a crewed lunar landing mission expected within the next decade. This would mark the first time Chinese astronauts set foot on the Moon, paving the way for long-term human habitation. The success of Chang'e 5 proves China's readiness to tackle these ambitious goals. As global eyes follow China's expanding space program, the competition to explore the Moon and beyond intensifies. The Chang'e 5 discovery is one more breakthrough among many that are transforming our understanding of the Moon and the universe. With every new finding, humanity inches closer to solving the secrets of our cosmic neighborhood. The future might hold even more remarkable revelations. In summary, China's latest lunar discovery is a game-changer that confirms the Moon is a far more intricate and resource-rich place than previously imagined. The discovery of water and organic compounds on the Moon's surface presents exciting new opportunities for space exploration, including the possibility of establishing lunar colonies and using the Moon as a launch platform for missions to Mars and beyond. As China continues its efforts in lunar exploration, even more unexpected revelations are likely to emerge. The future of space exploration looks promising, with the Moon only marking the beginning. China's Chang'e 5 mission, which was central to this groundbreaking discovery, highlights the rapid technological progress and growing ambitions of the Chinese space program. When compared to earlier missions, it's clear how much progress China has made in a short period. The nation's capability to plan and conduct complex missions, like landing on the Moon's far side and collecting lunar samples, shows that China is not just emerging as a space power but actively redefining the limits of space science. China's space program has always focused on long-term objectives. Chang'e 5 is one milestone within a broader vision that includes future crewed lunar missions, development of a space station, and exploration of Mars. The findings from Chang'e 5 could serve as a foundational step for China's plans to sustain lunar exploration and build colonies. However, the significance goes beyond just finding water and organic compounds. Once thought to be a barren, lifeless rock, the Moon is now revealing itself as a key site for the future of human space endeavors. What makes the Moon so valuable? For decades, scientists believed the Moon offered few useful resources. Yet, each new mission by China, NASA, or others is challenging that idea. The presence of water ice near the lunar poles, especially in Shackleton Crater, was a major breakthrough. This ice could support drinking water, crop cultivation, and spacecraft fuel. Oxygen can be extracted for life support, and hydrogen for rocket fuel, a concept called in situ resource utilization, which supports sustainable lunar bases. The organic compounds in the Chang'e 5 samples add further complexity. These molecules, essential to life, raise fascinating questions about the Moon's history. Could it have once supported life? Or was it just an observer of processes happening on Earth and other celestial bodies? The discovery of these complex organic molecules on the lunar surface challenges traditional views of the Moon's habitability. Did comet impacts bring these compounds? Or were they present when the Moon formed? The implications extend beyond lunar exploration. If the Moon could support life, other bodies like Mars, Europa, and Enceladus might have had similar potential. This could shift scientific strategies for the search for life, encouraging exploration beyond planets to moons and asteroids once thought inhospitable. China's discovery carries profound significance and is likely to ignite renewed global interest in lunar science. Finding water and organic compounds could fuel new industries such as lunar mining, energy generation, and space manufacturing, transforming the future of space endeavors. These resources might help build infrastructure needed for exploration, from permanent lunar bases to missions across the solar system. With Chang'e 5's success, China's space ambitions have become clearer. The country aims to establish a permanent lunar base within coming decades, while NASA's Artemis program also plans a moon base. China's approach might differ. Their focus on extracting resources directly from the moon could make their base more sustainable and self-reliant. Establishing a lunar base has moved beyond science fiction. Both countries aim to create a human presence on the moon by the late 2020s or early 2030s. Such a base would serve as a platform for testing new technologies, conducting research, and preparing for Mars missions. China's capacity to extract and utilize lunar resources like water and organic matter will be key to their base's success. A self-sufficient base producing its own energy, water, and fuel would be far more practical than one dependent on Earth. This adds even more importance to the Chang'e 5 discovery. If China demonstrates effective resource extraction and use, it could pave the way for others. The moon could become the first fully self-sustaining space outpost, supporting human life without constant Earth resupplies. This would shift space exploration from temporary trips to sustained colonization efforts. Moreover, water and organic compound discoveries could open new scientific fields. Researchers could study the formation and survival of life-supporting molecules in space. Lunar geology studies might reveal groundbreaking information about the moon's own origin and history. The moon holds clues about the early solar system, including events shaping Earth and other planets. China's discovery could help unlock those mysteries. At the same time, Chang'e 5's findings establish China as a major space race contender. While the U.S., Russia, and the European Space Agency have traditionally led space exploration, China is quickly advancing and surpassing others in some fields. Their successful Chang'e missions and ambitious plans cement their role as a space power. But this discovery benefits all humanity. There is increasing cooperation in space exploration as countries realize teamwork on scientific missions offers greater rewards than rivalry. Chang'e 5's results could foster international collaboration in lunar research, with nations sharing data, resources, and expertise. The moon's resource wealth also has economic potential. The discovery of water, organic matter, and other materials could spark new industries. Lunar mining, for example, could grow into a multi-billion-dollar sector extracting valuable minerals and metals from the lunar surface. These lunar resources could be used to power space exploration or even transported back to Earth for applications in various industries such as electronics, manufacturing, and construction. Additionally, the discovery of water on the moon could pave the way for a new energy economy. With advanced technology, it might be possible to harness solar energy or nuclear fusion by utilizing resources extracted from the moon. This could revolutionize energy production on Earth, making it cleaner and more sustainable. Looking ahead, the moon is rapidly becoming the center of attention for space exploration, representing the next major step in human space travel and potentially laying the groundwork for a new era of discovery. China's Chang'e 5 mission represents a significant leap toward that future, and the recent findings are just the beginning of what the moon may hold. China's expanding space program and bold lunar exploration objectives demonstrate that the future of space isn't just about reaching new worlds, but also about developing sustainable living environments and technologies that enable humanity to thrive beyond Earth. The discoveries on the moon are just the start. With more breakthroughs, scientific insights, and technological advances expected to redefine our approach to space travel and human survival beyond our planet. The Chang'e 5 mission's identification of water and organic compounds opens exciting new avenues for space exploration. But the challenges ahead should not be underestimated. Establishing a permanent human presence on the moon and effectively using its resources require overcoming significant technical and logistical barriers, developing dependable resource extraction methods, ensuring the long-term health of astronauts, and building the necessary infrastructure to support life on the moon will demand international cooperation, extensive research, and substantial investment. Nevertheless, the Chang'e 5 mission proves these challenges are manageable. With the proper technology, collaborative spirit, and vision, the moon could become humanity's first off-world home base, serving as a launching point for missions to Mars, the outer solar system, and potentially even the discovery of new life forms beyond Earth. In summary, China's groundbreaking lunar discovery ushers in a new chapter in human space exploration. The presence of water and organic compounds on the lunar surface offers unprecedented opportunities for the future of space travel. The moon could evolve into a resource hub and staging ground for missions to other planets, acting as a key stepping stone for humanity's expansion into the cosmos. China's leadership in this domain may spark a new era of exploration where space becomes not only a place for scientific inquiry, but also a habitat in which humanity can prosper. As space exploration pushes forward, the future appears limitless. Every new discovery brings us closer to unraveling the universe's secrets and advancing toward becoming a multiplanetary species. The journey is just beginning, and the moon may reveal more surprises than we have ever anticipated. The next grand frontier is near, and with Chang'e 5, China has reshaped the global space race. The discovery of lunar water and organic compounds has reignited excitement about the moon and laid the groundwork for long-term human settlement beyond Earth. The impact of this discovery extends beyond space agencies, influencing humanity's future as a whole. As space exploration advances, the moon will become our launch pad for cosmic exploration, providing essential resources, scientific knowledge, and technological breakthroughs that support humanity's interstellar expansion. Lunar resources represent the new frontier for economic opportunity. Among the most compelling aspects of China's recent findings is the moon's potential as a valuable resource center. The discovery of water, in particular, carries deep economic and strategic importance, as water is critical for sustaining human life in space. The moon's polar regions, where water ice exists, are considered prime locations for future lunar bases. But water is not the only valuable resource the moon may hold. The lunar surface contains a variety of materials important for space exploration. For instance, lunar regolith contains significant quantities of helium-3, an isotope rare on Earth but potentially essential for future nuclear fusion energy. If scientists develop efficient methods to extract and utilize helium-3, it could provide an abundant, nearly limitless source of clean energy, transforming power generation both on the moon and on Earth. The moon also harbors precious metals like gold, platinum, and rare earth elements, all critical for high-tech industries, electronics, and space ventures. Lunar mining may open up new industrial sectors that support long-term space missions and help alleviate resource shortages on Earth. The moon has the potential to become an interplanetary supply hub for vital materials, especially those increasingly difficult to extract on Earth due to environmental issues and resource depletion. However, lunar mining poses significant challenges. Extracting and processing these materials will demand advanced robotics, automation, and innovative resource extraction techniques. Besides technical hurdles, legal, ethical, and environmental questions need resolution. Who holds ownership over lunar resources? How can mining be conducted without damaging the moon's untouched environment or interrupting scientific investigations? These pressing concerns must be addressed soon as spacefaring nations start asserting claims over lunar assets. A new era of lunar exploration with numerous missions ahead is unfolding. China's success with Chang'e 5 marks only a stepping stone in its ambitious lunar agenda, which aims to establish the country as a world leader in space exploration. Building on Chang'e 5, China has announced plans for future missions that will deepen our understanding of the moon and support sustainable lunar exploration. One of the most anticipated missions is Chang'e 6, slated for launch within the coming years. This mission will extend Chang'e 5's efforts, aiming to collect additional lunar samples, especially from unexplored areas. Chang'e 6 will concentrate on the Moon's south pole, believed to harbor abundant water ice trapped in permanently shadowed craters. These regions are of particular interest due to potentially greater water availability than elsewhere on the Moon, making them promising sites for future lunar settlements. Additionally, Chang'e 6 will deploy cutting-edge technologies for detailed lunar surface exploration, including high-resolution imaging, sophisticated soil analysis, and innovative remote sensing. Each mission supplies critical data that informs China's plans to build a permanent human foothold on the Moon. Beyond Chang'e 6, the China National Space Administration, CNSA, envisions even more ambitious projects. The upcoming Chang'e 7 mission will continue exploring the South Pole with a focus on identifying optimal spots for resource harvesting and human habitation. Chang'e 8, expected within the next decade, plans to test essential technologies for establishing a permanent lunar base, such as habitat modules, life support systems, energy solutions, and infrastructure to support extended astronaut stays. These missions lay the foundation for China's ultimate objective of a sustained Moon presence, forming part of a broader strategy to challenge established space powers like the United States. A permanent lunar base could become a hub for missions across the solar system and beyond. It might serve as a launch site for crewed missions to Mars, Jupiter's moons, and the solar system's outer reaches. China's lunar ambitions also include forging a joint international lunar research station. In 2021, China announced a partnership with Russia to develop this multinational, multi-purpose base, intended as the first of its kind to support diverse scientific pursuits, from astronomy and geology to biology and material science. Set likely near or on the Moon's south pole, this station aims to host astronauts from various nations. Such cooperation may symbolize a new phase in space exploration, where countries collaborate despite differences to pursue shared goals. With rising global focus on the Moon, this could mark the beginning of a new space cooperation era benefiting all humanity and enabling us to explore the universe as one species. Looking forward, the Moon will play a central role in shaping human space exploration's future. Over the coming decades, it will serve as a testing ground for emerging technologies, a critical resource center for missions, and a home for astronauts as humanity advances toward interplanetary colonization. The Moon offers unique advantages, making it ideal for sustained space endeavors. Its proximity to Earth makes it an excellent site for experimenting with technologies for farther missions. Experience from living and working on the Moon will be invaluable for tackling challenges on Mars, where issues like life support, resource use, and radiation protection grow more complex. Additionally, the Moon provides access to essential resources for sustaining life in space. Water, crucial for long-term missions, is plentiful in its polar ice deposits. Moreover, lunar regolith contains materials useful for building habitats, producing fuel, and generating oxygen. With advanced technology, we could establish a self-sufficient lunar ecosystem independent of Earth's supplies. The Moon is also prime for scientific research due to its lack of atmosphere and minimal terrestrial signal interference, making it ideal for astronomy. The far side, where Chang'e 4 landed, is especially suited for radio astronomy. Shielded from Earth's electromagnetic noise, the lunar surface preserves records of the early solar system, giving scientists unmatched opportunities to study planetary formation and history. Perhaps most excitingly, the Moon could serve as a launch point for missions to other planets. With its lower gravity and access to resources like water and oxygen, it's ideal for refueling spacecraft destined for Mars and beyond. The Moon offers a unique vantage for exploring the broader universe. It's atmosphere-free. Dark skies make it perfect for powerful telescopes to observe distant stars, galaxies, and cosmic events. A global race for the Moon is underway. Besides China, the United States NASA Artemis program plans to return astronauts to the Moon by 2024, aiming for a sustainable human presence that opens pathways to Mars and other destinations. Artemis targets the lunar South Pole, where water ice is suspected. Other nations, including Russia, India, Japan, and the European Space Agency, are advancing lunar missions for research and resource extraction. Private companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin are reshaping space exploration, injecting innovative ideas and approaches. Consequently, the Moon is central to an international space race with significant implications for humanity's future. This competition accelerates technological progress, scientific breakthroughs, and global partnerships, whether through governments or private firms. The race to the Moon is pushing space exploration's boundaries and bringing humanity closer to becoming multiplanetary. In summary, China's recent lunar discoveries mark the beginning of a thrilling new chapter in space exploration. Water and organic compounds on the Moon open new possibilities for human exploration and settlement. The Moon could emerge as a hub for scientific discovery, a platform for deep space missions, and a resource-rich environment supporting long-term habitation. As China pushes forward with its ambitious lunar plans and other nations intensify efforts, a new era of space exploration awaits. No longer a lifeless rock, the Moon is now integral to humanity's space future. Today's findings will underpin the technologies, infrastructure, and knowledge essential for sustaining human life beyond Earth. The Moon's future in space exploration is bright, filled with potential. Through international cooperation, cutting-edge technologies, and a shared vision, the Moon could become our first home, beyond Earth. As we expand the boundaries of space travel, the Moon will be our launching pad to the stars, supplying the resources, science, and inspiration necessary for our cosmic journey.